All right, this is everything you need to know about TinkerCAD workplanes. So workplane is simply, I want you to think of it as like a floor, okay? But you can drag stuff off the workplane in TinkerCAD, okay? The workplane is just a level of the floor. So everything you drag out will be sitting on the floor, if you will. Because think about it in real life, right? If we're standing, we don't just float off of the ground. We stand on a floor. Same thing in TinkerCAD. Anything that is being dragged out is going to be on the same work plane, we call it. Okay, so anything I drag out here will be on the same work plane. Okay, well, how do I make it so that maybe I want objects to be sitting on top of here? Well, this work plane button, click it, click on the top, and now everything I drag out will be on the top of the work plane. Okay, so that's nice. That's a good feature. So you can put work planes anywhere that's on an object. So if I click, I can put a work plane on the front of that. Okay, so now everything I drag out is going to be sitting on the work plane like this. Okay, so everything's sitting on that work plane. Now, if I'm like done and I want to bring the work plane to default, I just click it and click anywhere in like the white space. Boom, the work plane's back to normal now, okay? Now, how do objects behave when they are, how do objects behave in relation to the work plane? Well, objects always want to skate along the work plane. So let's look at all these objects. I'm gonna click and drag, and notice how it's sliding across the work plane like ice. Notice that it's not going through the work plane, but it's skating along it like ice. Okay, every object will want to skate along this work plane like it's sliding on ice. Okay, that is a useful feature. Now, let's say I change the work plane to here. Now I want you to see how this changes how the objects move, because this is important. It still wants to slide across the work plane like ice, but it's going to be different. They're going to slide along this work plane like ice now, not the other one. So when you move it, it changes the behavior of how your objects slide. So again, notice this one's sliding up and down now, right? If I were to put it back to normal, this one is now sliding this direction instead. Okay, so that's important. Well, you may be asking, what if I want to go through the work plane? So let's take a look at this guy down here. The purpose of the black cone in TinkerCAD is to always pull and push objects to and from the work plane. So notice now all my objects have a black cone pointing towards the work plane. Okay, that's because it allows you to push it and pull it through. Again, if I change the direction of the work plane, notice the black cone always pointing towards the work plane. It always wants to allow us to move objects through the work plane. Okay, so work planes are great on TinkerCAD. They allow you to eliminate gaps, which are really important. They allow you to make sure your objects are aligned. It just saves you a bunch of time. So please use work planes. And again, to bring it back to normal, you click and click on the empty white space.